Here we're back again, and we have a lovely young lady who's an artist, and her name is Anabella Peña Monzon. Now, that's a pretty name.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is a great opportunity.
Oh, well, I want to hear about your art. What type of work do you enjoy the most?
Okay, that's a different. What I'm doing is sculpture, and I'm new at it, but I've achieved a lot through the help of my professors at Fresno State. I'm a master's student, and my final show is going to be in October. So I'm inviting everybody to come to graduate studios.
This is great.
It's over there on the M Street complex. And I wanted to talk today about some of the stuff we do at Fresno State. I wanted to, first of all, mention that my committee, Joanne Sharma, Edward Gillum, who runs the Spectrum Gallery, has been great and awesome in teaching me foundry and helping me all along the way, cheering me on, giving me courage.
Good.
And I want to acknowledge him because I miss him because he's been absent. He went to LA this week. So also Keith Jordan, who is my seminar professor of all the history seminars of Mayan art. I do Mayan art. And my sculpture is not real big. Like the last one I did is 8 feet or 7 feet.
Ooh.
And I had to, it's right here. It's over there. He's putting it. That's the first one that I did.
Oh.
But now has become totally different. When I started building them like piñatas, like I used to do back home, like weaving with starch. But I've developed and learned new techniques, and the last thing I had to do is I had to break 3 of them because they were 850 pounds, 750 pounds, and 650 pounds, okay? And when Fresno State said, you gotta graduate now in April, I totally freaked. And I said, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna transfer this work? So I figured, well, I created a problem, so I gotta solve the problem. So I broke them all the way to like a little underneath the waist. And then I rebuilt them in a way that now instead of being 800 pounds, they're like 225.
Wow.
So they look bigger, actually. They turn out bigger. But I did it in a way that I just made a covering of cement, quick set, mortar cement. And then I put the clay coils a little smaller. But I want to talk about the content of what we do in Fresno State. When I started the master, we had to do a CV and ask, have some goals of what we want to learn. So I started in a quest to finding meaning, because I follow psychoanalysis, Lacanian theory, and Lacan used to say that in order to find a way to fill the empty space we feel within, it's called the lost object, we have to find meaning. But we don't have no meaning because everything we learn, all the symbols of our communication are learned from culture, from society, but they're not our own. So I set up to discover my own symbols. And I have faith that when you discover your own symbols, he says you get meaning, and with the meaning, God will give me ideation. So I set up to find the symbols of my communication. But the good news is that you don't have to go to school to have means of communication. But everything that you do, sports, singing, writing, even talking, whatever makes you feel centered and you like and puts you in the present moment, those are the symbols of your communication. So, and I was thinking this morning that God has given me God or the Spirit, because I don't like the word God because it's not a dogmatic God that sits in heaven. It's the energy of life that runs the universe, which is a super conscious mind, That's what my coils in my sculpture represent, all the super conscious lights of energy that enlivens everything, from incense to rocks to minerals to the universe. It's those coils are the feather serpent. And the feather serpent is nothing but the light that shines through the storm in the thunder. It's a thunderbird for the Native Americans. And the thunderbird, the natives didn't have no cross of Christianity. They had the 4 directions of the sky, the north, the south, the east, and the west. And if you didn't watch the shadows of the sun, you didn't know when to plant, and then you died. So they were centered in the 4 directions, the 4 elements, and the Quetzalcoatl in Mexico, which is the Gucumax in Guatemala, and the plume serpent in the quadrant of New Mexico and Pueblos. It's only the ray of light that comes in the sky, brings rain, brings water to the seed, and then lives to the people. And I just did the water god, which is like 7 feet, and he's about this wide, and I'm really excited about it. It's one of the statues that I broke, and it's better now than it ever was. So I had the courage to try something new, and I managed to swing it with the two that I broke that I rebuilt. And that's one of them that I rebuilt right there. And the feathers that you see are made out of twigs that were soaked, and then they have bubble wrap around, and then they have paper and cement, and then they have little rings of clay.
Wow.
And on top of them they have a strong glue that makes them strong, and then I put coats of like a 30-hour wind and rain protecting. And what I learned is my methodology is that every day I do something wrong. Every day I make an error. So every day I find out new things that I didn't do right, because it's a learning process. Art is a learning process. But what I wanted to talk about is symbols. Saussure, who started, that's what we learned at Fresno State. Saussure, who started post-structuralism, said that a sign doesn't have intrinsic meaning. In other words, it doesn't have a meaning inside, neither does a word. But what gives a meaning is the words you put around a sentence or the symbols that you put around the symbol gives a meaning. So it's the relationships. So I found my meaning because I found my symbols, but the relationships with the community, with all the people that I've talked to our hub, the people in Fresno, I've been there for our hubs in my studio. I've had about 200 people or more. I can count them, but they come in groups.
Good.
And a lot of youth from Madison High School, from Fresno City, from Fresno State, and I'm able to share all my secrets of sculpture with them. And everybody's an artist. And I learned that the response and the encouragement of the community is what makes art happen. Because artistic creation is a lonely process, and it's like a symbol isolated that has no meaning. But when you go with the community, it takes all the meaning.
Well, you got the right answer there. You really do. And I want you to come back and show us some more of your things. And when we have a little bit more time to spend with you, and come back and tell us some more, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, honey, thank
It was
you so
intense,
much.
huh?
We'll be right back.
Okay.